Okay, hey, what is up, guys? Good to have you here. So, no long intro today, let's just get into it. So, I've been at this whole crypto research thing for a few years at this point, like legitimately just going down rabbit holes, seeing what actually does what it says it does. And mining tech has kind of become a bit of an obsession for me recently, not gonna lie. There's a lot going on in that corner of the space right now. So, today's platform, I've had it running for a couple weeks, done a bunch of sessions already, and today I'm just gonna pull everything up and go through it in real time. My account, my results, nothing staged. And then I want to circle back at the end and talk about how I personally think about avoiding scams because, yeah, I've got a few things to say about that. So, okay, quick thing before I start clicking around. This platform doesn't care what device I'm on, phone, tablet, desktop, it just works across all of it. So right now I'm pulling up a browser and heading to the site. Oh, and if anyone here wants to actually try this themselves at some point, I'm leaving the link in the description and pinning it in the comments so it's easy to grab. Okay, so the page is up. I'm going ahead and clicking launch here and good, my dashboard is open. So this is basically the main hub. Everything I need to run and monitor a session is sitting right here. Okay, so first thing I'm doing is locking in a token. And I do want to mention this because I think it's actually a solid feature. This thing is built on multi-chain, which means I'm sitting here with 14 different assets to choose from. That kind of range is honestly not that common. All right, moving into the data center cluster power settings now. So what this is essentially doing is letting me decide how heavily the system runs, how much capacity gets pulled in, how the whole session performs end to end. And it's worth knowing, whatever I dial in here is going to factor directly into the fee at the end, so I don't just spam max settings without thinking about it. Okay, I'm happy with where these are at, going ahead and hitting start, and there we go, session is live. Console is up and running, I've got everything in front of me, how long it's been going, resource load, my session progress, and a live log feed right here that I actually like keeping an eye on while it runs. So I'm going to let it run for a few minutes, and then we'll get into the withdrawal side of things. All right, guys. Okay, so we're a few minutes in. I think that's a good enough run. Let me pull the plug on this session. Okay, pop-up just came through, session is closed out, and right here it's showing me exactly what got mined. So to actually move these out, first step is getting my receiving address in, same token I was running in the settings. So let me add that in real quick. Okay, that's entered. Next thing is sorting out the infrastructure fee. So that's basically the platform's charge for the session, and it gets worked out from the configuration I was running plus the total session time. And this is something I actually appreciate. I'm not locked into any specific token to settle this fee. I can just use whatever I've got that makes sense for me right now. And if I wanted to, I could just run it through Wallet Connect and have it handled automatically. But I'm going to go the manual route today so it's all visible for you and easy to follow. All right, everything's filled in, hitting I've sent right here, and now it's just sitting and processing. Should clear out pretty quick. Okay, so while that's moving in the background, let me get into the part I've been meaning to get to, because I did say I'd talk about scams, and I actually do think this is worth your time. So real talk, I've been caught out before, more than a couple times actually, and that's not something I'm embarrassed to say, because if anything, it just kind of proves how easy it is to walk into something sketchy if you're not being deliberate about it. And these projects are not hard to find. YouTube, Google, Reddit, Telegram, every crypto forum you can think of, they're all over the place. They're not operating in the shadows, they're just right there, out in the open. And here's what makes the whole thing harder. This industry is just relentless in terms of pace. Something new is always launching, something else is always trending, and that constant churn is honestly ideal conditions for bad actors. Because when everyone is chasing the next thing, people skip steps. They don't look as closely as they should, and that's exactly the window that gets exploited. So, a couple of things that are actually on my checklist. First thing I look at is the site itself, and I know that sounds almost too obvious, but it genuinely holds up as a filter. Scam projects almost always look like they were put together in a hurry. You can just feel it when you land on the page, something's off. Layout's broken somewhere, design feels hollow, like it was built to look like something rather than actually be something. Platforms that are built properly tend to just feel solid. Second thing, the actual product experience. If I'm moving through the interface and it feels like nobody ever actually used it before pushing it live, confusing flows, things buried where they shouldn't be, interactions that don't quite work, that's a real signal. That's someone telling me they didn't care enough to finish the job. So, okay, just to land this. I've been actively running this platform for a few weeks now, cleared over 20 sessions, ran through essentially the full token list, genuinely tried to stress test it. And the honest answer is, every single session, everything came through the way it was supposed to. No weird holdups, no red flags, nothing that made me uncomfortable. So if you want to run your own test, link is down in the description. I've also got it pinned in the comments. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.